Okay, I think we're good now. All right, guys, VIP pre-market prep. I think it's good. Can you guys hear me? Let me just test this here. Let's see. Yeah, should be good. Okay. So, microphone's on. So, okay, today's show, we're going to figure this out together. Got a bunch of stocks we're looking at, but just until right before showtime, I'm like reading news. I was on a conference call, the Caterpillar conference call right now, right until showtime, trying to figure out if there's a reversal play in there. So, we'll talk about that. So, let's just quickly go first to our ER list. By the way, yeah, we do have the Fed tomorrow. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you're long, if you're swinging, we're going to be focusing on day trading and a couple swings that we have. Okay, so earnings, they're Wolf on down. So we got Wolf, Gaia, Pins, Caterpillar, CCJ, VFC. My gosh, I always look over these short ones. VFC pulled guidance. Okay. Probably a good short. Why didn't I short it? I don't know, but probably a good short, even from here. All of these stocks with bad pre-market news, you pull guidance, that's not good. That's terrible. And they also cut their dividend by 70%. So, man, I always hesitate on these. It's because it's already down, but that's a great business to be in. Whenever you see bad news, especially missing guidance, pulling guidance, cutting the dividend, you can usually just short that at any price in pre-market. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing is going to be like down 20% today. But any case, whatever. I don't know, man. It's just not what I gravitate towards. When I do the top 5, you'll see I have an affinity for different types of things. But maybe I should be shorting stocks like VFC instead. But in any case, looking at these earnings, Pins had good earnings. Wolf, I'm going to avoid. Wolf, I know it's up 16%, but they're not profitable yet. So I'm not going to make that a focus here. It's hard for me to have conviction on these stocks. It's hard to calculate what is the new, when you beat EPS, like 53-cent loss versus 67-cent loss. I don't know how to quantify that, right? And I like the ones better where, let's say, guidance is 75 cents and you beat it by 20%. Great, I can quantify that and then triangulate that percentage increase on a chart. Here, Pins, better condition here because they are profitable. Let's just quickly go look at what it was. I didn't dig deep into it, but let's see. 28 cents beats 20 cents. Okay, so 28 cents beats 20 cents. And I don't have, here we go, guidance. I have the revenue guidance here. For Q4, we expect revenue to grow. Okay, non-GAAP operating expense to decline. So they didn't explicitly provide the earnings guidance, but for Q4 revenue looks like it's going to be good. So if you just take 8 divided by 20, wow, they beat by 40%. But I said before, if you're like a low on the EPS scale, I never take those literally. If you're like EPS is $1 and then you come in $1.40, you can say, oh my gosh, the stock might go 40%. But let's say your EPS expectations was like 3 cents and you come in at 6 cents, the stock's not going to double. So it's like a sliding scale. You're down at 20 cents, you beat by 8 cents. Pins is not going to go up 40% today, although it's up 15%, pretty big, right? So, I'm not going to play pins. I'm not familiar with the stock too much. I can just tell you right here, we have resistance at 29.04. Okay, 29.04, 29.32, somewhere. Oh, you see that? It's like a triple top right there. Actually, let's check this out. So if you like pins, if you like their business and you believe in them long term, 29.30, 29.32, think about that level. If this breaks 29.32, then you can see this surge above 30 and towards this 6-month high of $30.78. Okay. And that's also a 52-week high. Yeah. Key level there at 29.32 or so. Is that what I said? Whatever I said, write it down. Okay. But I don't know pins well, so that's not even going to be in the top 5. Caterpillar, very interesting here because Caterpillar, they crushed earnings by 14%. They crushed earnings by 14%. Early in pre-market, this was like $255. And then it just dove. It took me a while to find out why it was going down. In fact, the information that caused it to go down was kind of hidden from the public for a bit. Only people who were very familiar with Caterpillar knew how to look up the URL of the presentation. So they had the press release and then they had their PDF presentation. That PDF presentation was not up on their website and it started crashing. But the URL that's used for that presentation is static. You just have to change like Q2 to Q3. So some savvy people who are familiar with CAT did that. And that's where the guidance was. The guidance was not in the press release, and the guidance was a little bit of a disappointment. So that's why the stock is down 6%. It's below a key technical support level right now here at 231, right here at 231.28. Okay. This is very cheap fundamentally, this stock. If you annualize the earnings they just had, it's like a 10 PE, okay? And it just crushed earnings by 14%. So I'm sure there's a lot of fundamental investors who are looking at this and saying, wow, this is great. I mean, the guidance, which was a disappointment, was simply year-over-year revenue will be slightly higher rather than higher than 5% year-over-year, which is what the analysts wanted. So it's going to be hard to maintain sequential growth over the EPS going into next quarter. And that's why you're seeing the sell-off. Okay. If you're a long-term fundamental investor, this is probably a good opportunity to pick up some of these shares. If you're trying to trade this short term, you're looking for a reversal today, you'd probably want to break over 231.28. Okay. Something we'll be watching, but not going to be a top 5 pick. I was listening to the conference call and I didn't hear any surprises. I had to hang up early, but I didn't hear any kind of positive surprises besides what I just said. CCJ, I hold this in my retirement account, uranium stock. Okay, it looks like they beat here, but I could not find, I couldn't get good numbers here. Some of this is mixed, like sales 428 million. Okay, sales 428 million, but I have the average estimate was 520. This is really weird because what I'm seeing is expectations were for 523 million and 9-cent EPS. They came in 428 million, 24-cent EPS. I don't know what to make of that. Maybe my numbers are off, but you missed by 100 million, but your EPS beats by 3x. So I didn't have time to look into that. Maybe my numbers are off. So I'm just not going to play that because I don't have clarity on the situation, what analysts are expecting. It seems like mixed results. But anyway, long-term uranium is great. I own CCJ, all right, and URNM in my retirement account. And I said VFC, probably a short. Man, I saw this at like 16.20 and I got to get used to shorting stuff on bad news. Okay, anyway, now let's go to our morning show list. I don't think any of those are going to be in our top 5. Maybe VFC should be. But okay, ready? CHWY. We've been talking about CHWY. We swang CHWY overnight. I think I may, right after the show here, I may pick up a little bit more CHWY right now because we are over these key levels. We're over the 20 DMA. And this morning they got another analyst upgrade. This is Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley raised to overweight. Now we've had multiple analysts coming in raising this. It's almost like every day, isn't it? BS last week going from sell to neutral. Now you have Morgan Stanley going from basically neutral to overweight, $28 price target. Wedbush coming in maintaining at 31. But I did say we're over this key 20 DMA. target is going to be the 50 DMA. You can round it to that whole number, $20. I think CHWY is in play today for a target of $20. We kept some overnight as a swing, and I may be adding more to CHWY today. So that's definitely going to be the top 5 today. All right. Tesla, man, I've been bearish on Tesla since the earnings call. Been calling for a 165 price target. If you were on the show yesterday, I kind of modified that to a range, a big range of 155 to 180. See the top of that gap. So 155 to 180. So there's still a good downside in here. I think Tesla is something. There's no specific catalyst today that I know. I did see something on social media about China insurance registrations or something like that are lower than expected, but I'm not sure if that's new news or not. So no specific catalyst today necessarily jump on shorting Tesla right at the open, except it closed below the psychological level of $200 yesterday. I was on Wolf Financial Spaces last night, our weekly competition, which I did win. I won it on POW and FNGD last week. I was actually the only panelist that was up big for the week. Everyone else was basically red. There was one person who was up slightly, but between POW and FNGD, we're up big for the week, and we won that competition. So there was a sentiment there being shared that now that Tesla closed below 200, it's like everyone's like, yeah, it's a short. So now people believe me. You know, after this earnings gap down at 227, I was already calling for 155 to 165. Now it's happening. All right, 155 to 180. I don't know if the break below 200 is enough to say, yeah, just short this at the open. But I think this is something that should be on high watch every single day. And you can short pops on Tesla every single day. All right, at various resistance levels. So we should have been more on top of it, except just we traded it big on earnings day. We made good money that day, but probably should have been shorting it every single day because that's a big price target, much lower than here. All right, so CHWY long, Tesla short. All right, some other news items out there on some smaller caps that may be interesting to play. Zynex had strong earnings the other day. You can see it gapped up from like $7 to $8.50. Now today, the company comes out, Zynex announces review of strategic alternatives. Basically, they're looking to maybe sell themselves. They're saying our company is too cheap. Our revenue has been growing, our EPS is growing, our cash flow is growing. We're cheap compared to peers. So we're looking for strategic alternatives. This is something that maybe you can buy on dips today as people get excited about the prospects of Zynex selling themselves for a premium. Amli. All right, I don't have the chart on Amli. Actually, let me see if I got to switch to Webull anyway on Monday. Here's Amli. So Amli coming out and saying their lithium reserves, some drilling results, something like 400% higher than previous. Let's see. Let's say, here we go. 476% increase in measured plus indicated. Now, I'm not a lithium expert, and I don't know the impact this really has and how important drill results are. So I'm not going to do big size on something like this, but it's something on my radar that I may do small size on because 476% looks like a big number. It can get folks excited. 15,000 pre-market value, volume 105 by 109. Let's see if we can see the, man, I really despise these Webull charts. What the heck am I going to do come Friday? Let's see, 5 day. Let me try 6 month chart. Let's see if I can zoom in. All right, I'm zoomed in. Go daily. No, daily. I don't even know how to do this stupid thing. All right, you got the 20 DMA up here. What is that? 120. I got some candle resistance maybe at like 113. So maybe Amli, small cap, micro cap, maybe got room something there to like 120 or something today. Okay. Other ideas we're looking at. So this week on Wolf Spaces. So as I said, last week's competition, I won that. This week, what I pick, I doubled down on guns, right? So POWW and RGR is what I went with, okay? So I'm not shying away from this. I'm not diversifying. I just as a demonstration of my conviction, I said I'm choosing 2 gun stocks. Why RGR? RGR is reporting earnings Wednesday afternoon. Now, the earnings release Wednesday afternoon is not going to include any upside from the war since October 7th, all right? That's going to be in the next quarter. So looking at forward-looking comments. Now, in the press release Wednesday afternoon, we may not get any forward-looking commentary. I looked at the previous press release, and they didn't give forward-looking commentary on the previous press release. Okay, so we may have to wait till the conference call Thursday morning. So what I think, my bet is, at least by Thursday morning, maybe by Wednesday afternoon on RGR, they're going to come out with some bullish commentary on gun demand, and that'll take not only RGR up on Thursday, but also the whole sector, including POWW and SWBI. So guns are on very high watch for me this week because of the RGR earnings coming. Run starting today. I'm actually going to say no. I just want to put this on your radar. Maybe we'll put that as a top 5 pick tomorrow, RGR. Okay. So we'll see. And PAL, though, I keep putting PAL in the top 5 because it did break resistance already. And I'm waiting for this gap to fill at $3. And I keep telling everybody and myself, this can break and make a move to $3 without a catalyst because it's already kind of technically broken out, but it's having a hard time making a move to 3. That's in my top 5 every day for a possible move to $3. And then we got Shopify with an upgrade. Initiated, actually it's an initiation, not upgrade, initiation by Wells Fargo. Actually, you know what, so I'm going to avoid that initiation on upgrade. Had a nice price target, but we're going to avoid that. All right, so we don't have a ton today, unless, I'm definitely going to put CHWY and Tesla in here in the top 5. Definitely going to put PAL up there in the top 5 again. All right, and then you know what, let me take a quick peek again at my ER list to see if there's anything we want to pull in from the earnings list into the top 5. Just 1 second. All right. So, pins. Man, VFC short. Pins. I guess I gotta respect. It's just I'm not familiar with Pinterest at all. I've never used it in my life. That's the only reason, and I've never even looked at this stock. So, okay, I'm going to put it in there for you guys to watch. It looks like the earnings were nice, very profitable. So I'm going to put it in there, but I'm probably not going to play it. But I'll put it in the top 5. And then I'm going to put VFC short in the top 5 also, but probably too late for that. That should have probably been done in pre-market. So let's just go to that morning show list. And we're going to add pins here. Maybe pins is something I can pick up on dips throughout the day at support lines, maybe something like that. And, I don't even have room to add VFC. I'm already at 300 max. So one of the benefits of Webull is when I add a ticker, it adds it at the top. I don't have to sit here for 30 seconds and drag this ticker to the top. So we'll save some time on that come Friday when we switch to Webull. Okay. So pins, move up to the top. All right, somewhere in there. And yeah, I can't add short VFC right now because I don't have room in here. So short VFC, that's another idea for you. So now let's try to order these. It's going to be 5 of them: CHWY, Tesla, pins, PAL, and short VFC. Imagine that right now. Okay, what order am I going to put this in? I'm actually going to stick with this. I'm going to stick with long CHWY first, but I think the bigger opportunity, especially if you're doing options, is going to be in Tesla puts. Okay, Tesla puts probably the bigger opportunity. Can it go down right at the open because of the psychological 200 broke? I guess it can, absolutely. So maybe a way to play this is to short a little right at the open, then wait for pops to short more. That could be something that's very lucrative today, shorting Tesla. But as far as, percentage-wise, what can do better today? I'm going to go CHWY because I've been talking about this for days, and it just seems to be happening and coming to fruition that we're going to be moving to $20. Right, we're above all the key resistance levels here on the chart, all the candles. The only next resistance is $20. Okay, so I got to go with CHWY number 1, Tesla number 2, with the caveat that Tesla can probably be more lucrative because of just how it trades with options. And then pins maybe on dips or on a break of that key level I talked to you about earlier. Looks like could be interesting also. That's 29.32 on pins. And PAL, I'm just swinging that every day, waiting for 3. All right. So those are the top 4, plus maybe a short in VFC because they pulled guidance. So those are the picks for today. And we'll see you at 1 p.m. for an update. Thanks for joining us. Hold on. I forgot to check Rumble. All right. There we go. All right. I'm all good. We'll see you at 1 p.m. today.